All right, this is Dakota from ITRBoxing. I'm here with the head of Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn. Eddie, I appreciate your time today, boss. Can you just describe the matchup we got coming up on Saturday, Berlanga and Quigley, the significance of this fight?
Yeah, I love it. Look, Edgar Berlanga's a big star. You know, we're going to be completely sold out at the Garden. I'm a bit nervous for Edgar because, like we saw last week with Regis, you know, all of a sudden you get all this media attention. You're doing a big homecoming fight, and as he said after the fight, I was pretty nervous out there, and all the hype we're giving Edgar, if he's not ready, and he's had 12 months out of the ring, if he's not what we're hyping up to be, he's in deep on Saturday night against Quigley. Now, if he's can potentially fight Canelo, if he's ready for Munguia and Golovkin, he should win impressively.
Right.
So I like it because I get to see, like, it's my job, hype them up. Now, boys, it's over to you. Show me you're the real deal.
Right. And it's funny too because I was talking to Jason before, and he's stone faced right now, man. I mean, he seems like he's about as.
But
prepared.
also he went through it. You know, he went into the Demetrius Andrade fight. He was too tight at 160. Andy Lee couldn't get in the country. He came out, fought the wrong fight, broke his jaw in the first round. It was a bit of a disaster for him. But he's been through that. You know, Edgar's not had to go through that process. So Quigley's experienced. He's game. He's strong. And there's a lot of people that don't feel that Berlanga is up to the hype, and that includes Jason Quigley and his team. So they're here to win.
How did you interpret, right? So Berlanga starts his career off with 16 first round knockouts, about as quick of a start as you could get, and then as he's climbed up in competition, there's appeared to be a little bit of a plateau. What's your interpretation of that?
You know,
is that just fighting better guys?
Yeah, he had an injury. I don't think things are right in his camps as well. But also, you can't just knock everyone out in the first round. And I was watching that run, not representing him, thinking, what the fuck? And the opposition wasn't elite, but it was still getting better. And it's like, oh my God, he's done it again.
Right.
Like, let's just put it into perspective. He still had 16 first round knockouts in a row.
Start.
And then you're not talking about road, early on they weren't the best, but as they got, they weren't terrible. They went rounds with some good fighters. So I'm watching it going, you know, and then almost like, I guess, as someone that didn't represent him, when he started to struggle a little bit, I was a bit relieved because I'm thinking this guy's going to be a mega star. He's knocking everyone out in the first round. So I was like, okay, yeah, maybe he's not all that, you know. And then I saw him, and the thing is with Berlanga as well, people got to realise he's not a guy who's come from nowhere, who's a good amateur, part of all that, you know, that crew coming out now. He was nearly made the Olympics. He's a good fighter. But now I think back, you know, with his original trainer, I think he's looking good and ready to make a statement.
What do you see as Edgar's natural progression? You got this new deal with him now. You know, obviously he's someone who, like we said, came out the gate real fast. But what do you see as sort of the natural progression for Edgar's career if he was to win this fight? Is it Pacheco?
Yeah.
Is it what is it in your mind?
I think, you know, look, Pacheco is a young fighter that's starting to headline. He's going to be a superstar. We're keeping him in LA, where he's about to headline in Mexico. Then he'll headline in LA. He's going to fight for the World Championship. With Berlanga, the Canelo fight is always the one. It's big enough because of his personality, because of the Mexico-Puerto Rican rivalry, to do really well number-wise now. But the reality is, for people to really believe in that fight, he has to beat someone worthy of landing that fight. So if he goes in and he knocks out Jason Quigley in 2 rounds and he stands on the turnbuckle and says, Canelo, Puerto Rico is coming for you, okay, it's big enough.
Right.
But if he goes out and beats Jaime Munguia, or beats Gennady Golovkin, or beats John Ryder, or beats Billy Joe Saunders, then everyone goes, fair's fair, let's see it. And that fight could be massive. But he's got to win Saturday first. I mean, it's a nice story, and it's where we want to get to, but it's still a long way to go.
Can you provide any clarity to the Canelo situation? We're seeing Jamal Charlo, we're seeing Badu Jack. Those are 2 very, very different fighters that are completely different sizes. Can you speak at all to what direction?
Yeah, I mean,
Canelo's
we were asked to make the Bivol fight, which we haven't been able to do. So they have to look at other alternatives. One of those is Badu Jack. I don't see that being a September fight with the speed that Saudi Arabia work necessarily. Right. And the other one is Jamal Charlo. And I think Charlo is the front runner right now. They'll definitely be keeping an eye on Berlanga on Saturday, but realistically I think that's February, May of next year. So yeah, I don't know where they're up to with Charlo, but it sounds like and looks like that's going to be next.
Why was the Bivol fight not an option? Was
Bivol,
that just...
I mean, firstly, as always, financially, we couldn't make it work. But more importantly, Bivol wanted that fight at 168. He felt
Really?
like... Yeah, he felt like, I've beaten you at 175. Bivol's not really purely money motivated. Like, the Canelo rematch is the big money fight for him. But at the same time, he wants to create history. So his biggest aim at the moment is to become undisputed at 175. But he can't do that against Canelo at 175. So he said, can I fight Canelo at 168 for undisputed? But Saul said, no, I want to fight you on the same terms as last time where I lost. So no one can criticise. But yeah, it is. And that was the problem. It's like, not an ego, but just the two competitors saying, no, I want to challenge myself.
Right.
So we wasn't able to get it over the line. So I don't rule it out forever. It doesn't look like that problem. Yeah, right? I know. Yeah.
There's been like an avalanche of big fights that are getting made, whether it's Crawford, Spence, if it's Inoue, Fulton. There's a million different fights. You just as a boxing guy, as a fan, what's the one that's getting you real jacked up right now?
Probably Joshua Wilder. You know, I mean, I think that's bigger than all of them, in all honesty. I mean, I think we're in a great stage now, and it's great. Sometimes you just need that momentum of guys going, yeah, okay, he's fighting him. Okay, I should fight that guy. You know, even down to like, I still think it's one of the best fights in boxing, but Bam Rodriguez against Sonny Edwards, like that's great a fight that I know it's flyweights, but like that fight should just get made. Like that's a purist's fight in a way. Every fight fan's going to go, yes, I love that fight. So we've got to keep that momentum going.
Yeah. What are some of the ones that haven't been made yet that you'd like to see?
Haney against Prograis. You know, maybe Prograis even against Catterall. You know, he deserves that fight.
Tough style for Regis, right?
Yeah. Berlanga against Munguia. I think it's a tremendous fight. Golovkin against Ryder. Dimitri Bivol against Callum Smith when he knocks out Beterbiev in a few weeks. You know, Bam against Sonny Edwards, big one for me to try and nail. You know, from a women's perspective, also I want to see the Taylor Cameron rematch. Alicia Baumgardner against Amanda Serrano.
Love that.
Tremendous fight. Like there's so many fights out there to be made right now, and we've just got to continue the momentum.
Last thing I got to ask you.
Cordina against Shaquille Foster. Great unification fight.
That's also a fantastic fight. Yeah, especially with the Cordina maybe in fight of the year in this last one. The last thing I got to ask you, you're in New York City, you're in my city. I know you've been on a health kick based on what I've been reading, but where's Eddie Hearn going to get bagels and pizza?
Oh, there's a bagel shop right by the hotel. It's fantastic. There's a place called Market Crates, which is just great for like omelettes and bagels and salads and stuff like that. There's a great little coffee shop. We're on West 35th. It's called Madman Espresso.
Yep.
Top
great
floor.
spot.
And last night, I went to a great little place. Just went for a wander. And I came across, if you go out onto, if you turn right, is it 6th?
Yeah,
I think?
It's in the
Probably like around 40th Street, maybe 39th, 38th. Italian place called Italian Trattoria.
Fantastic.
And it's just like have you been? It's just like very basic.
Yeah.
But they'll make the pizzas are like freshly made.
Yeah.
And the pastas are freshly made in front of you.
Fantastic.
I love the food.
If I could make one recommendation, New York Pizza Suprema, 31st Street, 8th Avenue. You can't go wrong.
We'll give that a try. Thank you,
Eddie
man.
Hearn, thanks for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.